Troy Taylor against his coaching against his old team.
There we go.
That'll be pretty fascinating there.
And that's alma mater free tickets. So
Nice.
there we
Cal
go.
and Stanford now in the Atlantic Coast Conference, so
Yeah.
that always makes a ton of sense. But
I mean, we're gonna fucking suck again. So it's
yeah,
gonna be a
but
couple years before we're actually gonna be any decent.
yeah, but I'll say this: Troy Taylor's a hell of a fucking football coach, man, and you know, if he's given the right resources, I think that Stanford program could be really good. However, I think Stanford's kind of fallen off lately, especially in the NIL era, because you know, as a institution, they don't really care as much for sports as they do is with you know
Yep.
not only their education but what they do, like their medical school of medicine and like their doctors and stuff. I mean, they invest a lot of fucking money into that shit, engineering,
Yep.
so
Law. Yep.
law. So it doesn't shock me that Stanford's kind of struggle. However, I do think Cal might make some noise in that conference this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with Stanford to see if they do lower the restrictions on the GPA for entrance because I think that's really restricting some of their football players and really a lot of their sports. Because with it, I think it's a sports players have to have a 3.7 or above
Oh, really?
to even be
What?
admitted to Stanford. You're knocking out a lot of players who don't necessarily have that GPA that will be going to rival schools because
Yeah,
they can.
yeah, that's true. Good point.
Mhm.
Um,
So
so make sure to tune in on Wednesday night. Irv and I will be previewing the college football slate for next week. Like Ben alluded to, we have games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week. So a lot of college football, man, and it's gonna be college football galore. We got LSU and USC out here in Vegas on Sunday. That's gonna be a hell of a fucking matchup. So looking forward to week one of college football. So Wednesday night, about 9:15 Pacific Standard Time, we'll be on our Twitch, twitch.tv/taproom sports. Join us. We'll be breaking down the slate. But with all that being said, baseball, Major League Baseball, Ben. So
yes, sir.
a few things I obviously wanted to touch on. Obviously, Otani 40-40 walk-off grand slam to get that 40th home run was really fucking impressive. Fastest to 40-40, not the first ever to 40-40, but fastest to 40-40. What's your thoughts on Otani? I feel like this weekend basically like solidified the NL and AL MVP.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right there. I think he is on pace to hit 50-50, and I think that's going to be even more of a feat. I would have liked to see it out of a everyday player instead of a DH, but that's just his circumstances right now. Um, it you don't have that wear and tear of everyday baseball when you're just swinging the bat.
Yep.
So, I mean, is it a great feat? Yes, absolutely. But would it have been more impressive if it was an everyday player? Yeah, but it's still a huge feat. Especially for the times that he's been slumping throughout the year. Um, and still hitting these, record-setting numbers is still impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's $70 million a year impressive, but we'll see if he can pitch again.
Well, I mean, he started throwing off a mound this weekend, Ben. So, some people on Twitter were saying like he could probably pitch in the postseason if they absolutely needed him, but apparently uh,
God, I would not do that.
yeah, apparently the Dodgers are like pretty set on not having him pitch. So, um, that won't be happening. But people are saying that he could pitch if he really wanted to.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I think the NL MVP, for better for worse, is solidified because other than Shohei, it's like who else is like deserving? Because like Ellie kind of fell off a little bit. Like he had a nice little run, but he hasn't been very consistent. And like the guy, I mean, he's stolen a 61 bases, but it's like you can't steal first base, dude. You got to get on
Yeah,
base,
yeah.
and that's the toughest thing for him. And then you know Francisco Lindor would probably finish second if the season ended today. First shortstop in Major League history to have multiple 25 home run, 25 stolen base seasons. I mean, he's had an incredible season, but he got off to such a slow start, dude, which I think fucking really hurt him.
Hmm.
But once he started heating up, obviously the Mets started to get a lot better, and he had a hell of a weekend in San Diego this weekend. Unfortunately, the Mets couldn't pull it out and take 3 out of 4. They ended up splitting the series with the Padres today, but I think Francisco Lindor is the closest. But given what Shohei Ohtani's done, I think it's just hard to make a case for
Yep.
Lindor. And then on the AL side, it's like Aaron Judge, 51 home runs, Ben, and we still got 30 something games left. And the guy was absolute dog shit the first month of the season, which is the
Yeah.
most insane part. And, Bobby Witt on the other side having a hell of a fucking year. And he's probably gonna keep Judge from winning the Triple Crown because his average is so much better. But, you know, in any other year, Bobby Witt is hands down the AL MVP this year. But unfortunately, he's just going against this guy that hits in a little league park
Yep.
and hits a ton of home runs that wouldn't be home runs anywhere else. And it's unfortunate for him, because I do think Bobby Witt, when you talk about baseball player, Ben, I think Bobby Witt is the better overall baseball player than Aaron Judge.
Agreed.
And, you know, that won't get factored into it, unfortunately, because Judge can't even field his position any longer.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, and
Bobby
it's going to
Witt's
be
one of the best
interesting to see if he
shortstops.
goes to full-time DH next year, or maybe not to start the year, but ends the year at full-time DH. You're going to have Dominguez back. If they can sign Soto,
How long
then
is Stanton? Well, see, that's the problem with Soto too, though. Is like Soto's not a great defensive outfielder, and he's young right now, so he could play it and still be like an average fielder. But if you sign Soto, you're signing him to a 10-year contract, Ben, right? And
yeah,
you got Judge for what, 6 more years?
I think it's more than that.
Is it 8 more years?
I
Did he
think it's
sign a
eight
ten
more
year deal?
years. Yeah, he signed a 10-year deal.
So you look at that and you
And
sign.
this is what we thought about with Judge. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is what we thought about with Judge is that this was going to be a great deal for 3 to 5 years, but after that, it's going to be horrible.
Yeah, because I mean he's 30, what, 30, 32 right now, 31, 32.
He's even older than that. Sorry,
Nah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Oh, I did,
nah,
but I
you're
didn't.
good. You're good because I mean it's a good point, and we did talk about that. But now it's like the same thing with Soto. So if you're the Yankees and you have Judge for 8 more years, and then you re-sign Soto for 10 more years, I guarantee you Soto is not going to play an average outfield at the back end of that
Mhm.
contract. So like he's gonna have to DH at some point or play or
Yeah.
move him to first base or something. But do you just
J-
sign both of them because they're both really fucking good and just figure it out later? We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Judge is 32.
Yeah,
And he
32,
signed a 9-year deal, so he has 7 years
seven
left.
years left.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last like 4 or 3 years of that deal is gonna be fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna have to DH.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him DHing in the second half of next season.
How many more years is Stanton signed?
Uh, how do you
Because that's
spell
the biggest thing. Because
Giancarlo's?
because Giancarlo, Giancarlo,
There we go. There we go.
because
There
he
we go.
definitely can't play the field any longer. That fool fucking can barely stay healthy, being a
God,
DH.
he signed a 13-year, 325 million.
But he signed that deal a long time ago. I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. So he is a free agent in 2029.
Jesus Christ, dude, they still
No,
have
sorry, club option in 2028.
they still got him for fucking 4 more years, dude.
Club option in 2028, though. It's only going to be 3 more years.
So I mean, you might think about moving Judge over to first base at this point,
Yeah.
because first base you don't really have to like run and stuff, or you got to move him to the corner outfield, which means that you absolutely need a center fielder. And like Grisham plays a great center field, but he's just not very good
Yeah.
at the plate.
I wouldn't put Soto in center.
Nah, hell no.
Um, Dominguez isn't a center fielder.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that makes it interesting for Dominguez too, because I mean, maybe the Yankees. I know they've been playing him a little bit at first base in the minor leagues, but maybe they think about moving him for
Mm-hmm.
a piece somewhere else.
Pitcher prospect.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But I mean, as far as the MVP races are concerned, I think that it's pretty. I think it's basically a wrap there. I think they're basically over. It would take a crazy fucking fall off for Judge, and it's not my opinion. This isn't my opinion because in my opinion, Bobby Witt is the AL MVP, but he won't get any consideration because obviously Judge is the Yankee and Judge hits a ton of home runs and ladies dig
Mhm.
the long ball, dude.
Yeah.
Ladies dig the long ball. Screwball got fucking shelled by the White Sox on Saturday night.
Yep.
That was pretty interesting. I thought he was like definitely the running away with the AL Cy Young, and that could be coming back a little bit. So that'll be pretty interesting. The last month of the Cy Young, because I know he's not gonna get it, but they should seriously consider Clase.
Hmm.
Like the guy is just fucking nails, bro. Constantly. So I would definitely consider Emmanuel Clase, but he probably won't get any consideration. It's probably still Screwballs to lose.
Oh, I think so. As long as he doesn't come out and throw another fucking dinger.
Yeah, I think that start against the White Sox definitely fucking hurt.
Hmm.
But still, he's still the best fucking pitcher in the AL. Surprisingly, can't give it to Tanner Houck.
Nope.
Seth Lugo is like fucking. The guy didn't play the White Sox and Tigers for half of his starts. He'd probably have like a fucking 5 ERA.
Yeah. She only play the people that are in front of you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, he got fucking shelled by the Phillies today.
Yeah,
Hit,
he got shelled in
hit,
not last start, but the start before.
yeah. When they played, who did they play that series? They played the Twins.
Yeah.
It's like every good team he goes up against just fucking shells him, dude. But then he had like 6 starts against the White Sox and Tigers, and he like had like one earned run in all those starts. So it's like hella inflated his fucking numbers.
Yep.
um, I thought George Kirby had a good chance too, but I don't know. Maybe there's something with the Cy Young Award when they're getting shelled by bad teams because fucking Kirby gave up 10 to the fucking Tigers, basically fucking hurt his chances. And then what's his name? And we talked about this last week. Logan Gilbert's he's been kind of fluttering a little bit. Well, his last few starts, he's looked a little, you know, not Cy Young.
Yep.
But what's your thoughts on the Cy Young race? NL's probably Chris Sale's at this point.
Yeah. Which is absolutely surprising. I didn't wear the hat on purpose tonight, but absolutely shocked by Sale having a resurgence this year, especially on a team that absolutely needs it. Um, yeah, I'm Atlanta is one of those teams that I'm just surprised that they are where they are right now with all of the injuries, both offensively and on the bump.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think Sale has got this in the bag. I don't see anyone who's really too close to him in the NL.
I mean, Zach Wheeler's right there. Hunter Green, if he didn't get hurt, would be right there. I
Yeah, but
also
Zach
think
Wheeler's
Michael.
numbers haven't been that great as of recent.
I mean, he still's a 2.73 ERA,
Yeah.
but his like K numbers aren't as great. Like that's the thing with Michael King. Like I would argue you could put Michael King up there, 3.02 ERA, fucking 10.64 K per nine. But he's kind of been a little skittish of late too, which has kind of hurt his chances. And then Dylan Cease too. I mean, you can make a
Hmm.
good argument for him. You know, he leads, or he's second in the NL in K per nine, 3.43 ERA. But he also threw a no hitter, but again, like he went on that tear, and then he's kind of regressed a little bit in his last couple starts. So we'll see. I mean, we got a month left, but I mean, as far as pitchers are concerned, they only have like 3 starts left. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's like there's only so much,
No,
three
they
or
have about
four,
32 games left.
maybe, depending on the starter. 4 or
I'd
5
say a lot of
starts.
them have about 5 going.
Well, some teams like the Phillies, I mean, like they pushed Zach Wheeler's start back to give him a little more rest. Like you're gonna start to
Uh-huh.
see like teams in the playoffs that are gonna start to like set up their
Go to a sixth
rotation.
or seventh day.
Yeah, they're gonna start setting up their rotation for the postseason.
Mhm.
Because I mean, at this point, talking about the postseason, I mean, it would take a monumental collapse for the Diamondbacks and Padres to fall out of the playoffs at this point.
Yep.
And then obviously the Dodgers, Phillies, and Brewers are basically locked in there too.
Hmm.
So I mean, really, it's only one team fighting for a wild card. I think the Giants, you can basically fucking pack them up
Yep.
too. They're
Yep.
done.
I don't think Boston even has a shot in the AL at this point, being 4.5 back.
Well,
Um,
the one thing I will say about Boston though, Ben, is they play their division pretty well. Um, and they have a lot of games left with their division.
they have 7 against Toronto.
Toronto blows.
Yeah, they have 3 against Detroit. They have 3 against the New York Mets,
Detroit
3
playing.
against Chicago White Sox, 3 against Baltimore, 4 against the Yankees, 6 against Tampa Bay, and 3 against Minnesota.
I mean, they have a tough schedule, but they do
Four and a
play.
half. That's just tough. I mean, I guess the good thing is that you have two teams there, the Twins and the Royals, who are both at that same 72 and 58. But 4 games, 4.5 back is it's doable,
I mean,
but
getting swept this weekend did not do them any
no,
favors.
you need a monumental collapse by either Minnesota or Kansas City.
Well, the one thing I will say about Minnesota is their starting rotation is really banged up. I mean, they lost Joe Ryan basically for the year. Um, and they've lost Chris Paddock, who he wasn't the greatest, but now they're trotting out guys that should be pitching in AAA, basically because they have to, because they don't have any other options right now. So I mean that does hurt. And like David Festas looked good at times, and Zebby Matthews looked good in his last start. I'm higher on Zebby right now than I am on David Festa, but I think David Festa ultimately has the better stuff. But we've seen David Festa every single start. He can't get through the lineup 2 times, dude. He
Yeah,
can't.
but you still have Pablo Lopez, you still have Oberg, you still have Woods Richardson. Like you still have three. I mean, Paddock is not again not great, but he's a
He's
number
hurt right now
4.
though.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're piecing this thing together right now.
Yeah.
They basically
Yeah,
got
that's right. They're putting out Varlin and Festa, huh?
they basically have
Varlin is not
Pablo.
good.
They basically have Pablo, Ober, and then they're like just piecing together the rest of it.
And then Simeon Woods Richardson, he's been a starter throughout the whole.
Yeah, I mean he's got high potential too, but again he's a rookie. And,
He's still pitching really well.
yeah, he's pitched a lot better lately. But I mean then they're banged up on their lineup. Buxton's out, Carlos Correa's out. Honestly, I don't think the Twins miss the playoffs. If there's a team that I think misses the playoffs, it's the Kansas City Royals because they've just been playing over their heads, and we kind of seen that regression this weekend. And we've kind of seen it the last month. Every time they play a good team, they kind of
Mhm.
they lose the series, and I mean we've kind of seen it throughout the year. They've had a really fair schedule, and that's
Yeah.
not to
And let's see. Okay.
and I don't want to like hate on them and be like, oh, they're only here because like you said, you have to play who's in front of you, dude. And a benefit to them being bad last year was they got a bad schedule.
Yeah.
a schedule to play bad teams, and then they just so happen to play in the same fucking division as the fucking White Sox, dude.
Yep.
So
Well, but they don't play the White Sox anymore.
they don't.
And their schedule is kind of tough. They got 7 against Cleveland. They've got 4 against Houston. You've got 3 against Minnesota, 3 against the Yankees, 3 against Pittsburgh. That's the easier of them. 3 against Detroit, easier. 3 against San Francisco. Depends who you get as their pitcher, but that's probably easier. Well, that's probably a wash there. 3 against Washington and then 3 against Atlanta.
Yeah, they do have a pretty tough schedule.
So you're right. If it's any team that would drop out, it's Kansas City.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, dude, it wouldn't shock me if the Orioles missed the playoffs either.
What's no, they're up 7.5 games on.
Bro, that's a bad ball club, bro. They're only up 3 games on 3.5 games on. Oh yeah, they're up 7 on the fucking right side. Bro, I wouldn't be shocked if they haven't had a winning month in 3 months, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
They just
Their injuries are taking it all out of them.
they just so happen to fucking have a really good start. But yeah, the injuries are a huge part of why they are where they're at. But still, I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, look at fucking Atlanta, dude. Atlanta's got a fucking shit ton of injuries too, and no one's fucking complaining for them, and they're sitting there in the wild card as well.
Damn, why don't we have to make the playoffs for MLB futures?
Because a lot of
What do you
books are
have?
scared.
Can you find a book in Vegas that has uh
Does covers have it up right now?
Boston to make the playoffs?
Does does covers have it up? Let me see. Do. Let's see. Because I know Vegas Insider puts it up every day, but they're not gonna have updated numbers right now. It won't be updated till tomorrow. Oh, to reach playoffs. Okay, here we go. Damn, a lot of books don't have it up right now.
Bet MGM looks like plus 155
For what?
to make the playoffs,
Do do
which
do.
seems
do. Covers only has the Kansas City Royals listed for everybody.
well, what's Kansas City to not make the playoffs?
Yeah, this isn't right, dude.
Let me see if
Let me see. Go to check Vegas Insider. Go to vegasinsider.com.
I was gonna go to my bookie really quick.
They're an offshore, but they'll probably definitely have it. Offshores always have that shit up. Let's see. MLB futures market. Here we go. Playoffs, yes, no. All right. So right now, oof, this is not accurate. This is updated. This was not updated recently. Oh no, this is updated, but they don't have the no prices. The no prices aren't updated for sure. They're not updated because it says Diamondbacks no minus 115. That's no fucking way. To make the playoffs, who did you want to look at? The Red Sox.
Boston, yeah.
They are at BetMGM plus 250, at DK plus 245, and at Caesars plus 230. They have better odds to make the playoffs than the fucking Mets do right now, Ben.
Really?
Yeah. The Mets are 2.5 back, but the Mets do have a pretty tough schedule. Did you hear Scott Service got fired, obviously, from the Mariners. Did you? What's your thoughts on that, on the Scott Service firing? I want to talk about that while we're in the playoff talk, because the Mariners' playoff hopes are basically fucking gone with the wind at this point.
Yeah. Um, sorry. I think it's unfortunate because I mean he's definitely the scapegoat.
Sure.
But does he deserve to be fired? Yeah, probably. Um, they haven't done anything to reset that team at all. Um, so I get why they're doing it. I think he is a scapegoat. Um, I think the GM should be fired as well. But the GM at least brought some players in at the deadline to make an impact, and Service wasn't able to do anything.
Well, I thought. Well, this is a first. This is a multi-level question in my opinion, because when you have a team like the Mariners who were expected to make the playoffs and contend for that division, and they had a 10-game lead in the division in June, right?
Mhm.
They were running away with the division, and somebody has to be held accountable, and it's much easier to fire a manager than it is to replace your entire roster.
Yeah.
You're right. Jerry DePoto, the GM of the Mariners, 100% deserves to be held accountable for this shit, because in the offseason, he very well could have traded one of those pitchers, Brian Wu, even Emerson Hancock, Bryce Miller, Logan Gilbert, like trade one of those guys for some offensive help right now, and you still have a great starting rotation. Instead, he goes into the year with what he has, and Julio Rodriguez has a bad year, and he's been hurt, and everybody in that lineup last year, J.P. Crawford had a career year last year. We knew he wasn't going to play like that ever again, right?
Mhm.
He's regressed back to the mean. Now he's hurt, which is also unfortunate, but they go into the year with like these guys that would basically be like fucking platoon players for most good teams, bro. Like J.P. Crawford isn't a starting shortstop on a fucking World Series team, Ben.
No.
You know what I mean? And so I do think that Jerry DePoto deserves some blame. I think ownership also deserves some blame, because they probably held DePoto back as far as from a financial standpoint from what he can do, which I think hurts some things. But the Scott Service firing, like somebody has to be held accountable for this disaster. And unfortunately it was Scott Service, but I was shocked they did it now with a month left in the season, because
Yeah.
you hire Dan Wilson, and you're basically like, this is Dan Wilson's job, like we're gonna hire him, he's gonna be the manager next year. So you're telling me you're not even gonna go interview other people? You're not even gonna go search for another manager? Like you're just like, this is our guy? Like that doesn't make any sense to me, dude.
No.
You don't go through the process. And so you're basically telling your fan base, like, we're not going to go through the process of finding a good manager for this ball club. We're just going to go with our guy, because Dan Wilson's a company guy. He's a Mariner for life. You know what I mean? And I think that is some bullshit. I think implementing like his philosophies and such this late into the season, like I don't think it's necessarily going to work. I think this season's kind of a lost cause, so you might as well just wrote it out with Scott Service and kind of reevaluated things in the offseason, because they're going to have to make some trades, Ben. Like, they can't go into the offseason with the same fucking roster and expect that those guys are just going to turn it around.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen. And will Julio Rodriguez be better next year? Absolutely. I have no doubt about it that he will be better next year.
Yeah.
He just had a bad year. It is what it is. You know what I mean? He's played 3 years. He's had one bad year. He'll bounce back next year. I'm absolutely sure of it. But also at the deadline, Ben, you have Harry Ford. You have that other kid Hancock, the shortstop prospect, and you don't move any of them to get an impact player. Really, you get Randy Rosarina, and he's been fucking dreadful. You get Justin Turner, who the Blue Jays look a million times better since they
because they
traded
don't
him.
have Justin Turner.
You know what I mean? They're starting Spencer Horowitz over him.
Yeah.
And so in my opinion, it's just like, I just think it was a systematic failure from top to bottom the entire season. And it sucks because the people in Seattle, man, they love that ball club, bro, and
Oh, absolutely.
they deserve a winning ball club. And I always joke about it because as an A's fan for like basically my entire lifetime, the Mariners and Angels have just been absolute dog shit, and it's just comedy. The Angels won a World Series randomly, and the Mariners had like a few good years when they had Griffey and A-Rod, but then they've just managed to fumble shit, dude, their entire existence, bro. Like, they had Felix Hernandez, one of the best pitchers of his generation, bro, and they couldn't fucking build a winner, dude. Like, just an absolute dog shit organization up there in Seattle, man. But hopefully next year they learn from their mistakes because, bro, I'm dead serious, Ben. The A's are gonna compete for that division next year, bro.
Oh, I think you're right. I definitely think you're right. They're at least gonna make a splash. Um, as possibility for a, definitely a wild card spot. So
They could win that division. That division's not good.
yeah.
Even the Astros, they got off to a really slow start, but that team is like, bro, they're all getting older, and Bregman's a free agent at the end of the year, Ben. Like, who knows what the Astros look like next year? You know what I mean? Because, like, their offensive young pieces in that organization are not that good.
Mhm.
And they're good, like, their Altuves of the world and their Bregmans of the world are just getting fucking older.
Mhm. No, you're absolutely right.
So who knows what that team looks like next year. I do like Spencer Arrighetti. I really like Hunter Brown. I think they got some nice young pitching prospects. But I do think that team is on its way out.
Yeah.
And the A's are on their way up. And the Mariners should absolutely. I mean, Ben, with that with that rotation, dude, that should be a team contending for a World Series, not a fucking
It
division,
really should.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need like great offensive players, bro. You just need capable offensive players. They don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't have it at all. A team's got to figure it out.
Yeah, it's kind of a joke.
Yeah, bro, Ben,
It really is.
they're gonna be the first team since 1937 to finish the year number one in team ERA and dead last in hitting,
Hmm.
batting average. First team
Yeah,
since
number one in
1937.
team ERA and not make the playoffs.
It's insane, dude.
Yep.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Well, I know
Well, it
how.
was.
I bet on that team a lot, and I watch a lot
Yeah.
of their fucking games, and that shit is like
Yeah.
fucking pain.
Yeah. Just a joke of how, how you rely on people who had that, that unicorn year, and you can't, especially with the guys who are a little older and have a few years under the belt, you can't expect that to just come out of nowhere and be the norm.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely a unicorn season. It's a something that is
Well,
almost a fluke.
it was like
And
2 years ago, Ben, when remember when they barely missed the playoffs and they made that like late season push and they won like
mhm,
93 games and still missed the playoffs. Remember that shit?
yep.
That was 2 years ago. That offseason, that was when Trey Turner was a free agent. And all the rumors were like, oh, the Mariners are going to go after Trey Turner and they're going to replace JP Crawford because that was like the weakness of that team.
Yeah.
They're going to go get Trey Turner. Well, Trey Turner wanted to go to the East Coast. They didn't get Trey Turner. JP Crawford comes back, has a career year last year. And instead of going into the offseason being like, okay, this is a position we need to upgrade,
Mhm.
they stand pat. And then they go out and get Jorge Polanco and Polanco's having a terrible year. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't this bad ever before. He is having a terrible year. But other guys, you're relying on Cal Raleigh, just, I mean, nowhere to be found this year
Yeah.
offensively. It's just up and down that lineup, dude. And like that
You
lineup,
fucking let
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ben.
you let Ty France walk, who was your savior last year,
2 years ago, he was one
two
of
years
their
ago.
better
Sorry, yeah.
players. Yeah, I mean, Ty France is a good hitter. I don't know what the fuck's going on out there in Seattle, but I think that lineup, that clubhouse needs to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, you know what? A lot of this is on us, dude. Like, We haven't performed. We got a fucking great pitching staff, and we let them down every fucking night. Like they're going out there shoving 6, 7 innings of fucking 1 run ball. We can't even fucking scratch across a couple runs to fucking win ball games, dude. It's like
Yep.
it was like that Tigers series, dude, when they lost like on 2 walk-offs, 2-1, and fucking I think it was 2-1 and 3-2. It's just like, bro, you're giving your pitchers such a small window of error, dude. Like you're basically going out
Learn to
there.
work with, yeah.
You're going out there in the bullpen too. Like you're like, you guys can't make a mistake because if you do, you're gonna cost us the fucking game because we can't
Yep.
fucking score, dude.
And then it's going to be on you,
Yeah,
not the team that only scored 1 run.
yeah,
It's on you who allowed a second run in a game. 1 run.
yep. It's just it's terrible, man. I feel for my people out there in Seattle, man. I love Seattle. Love that fucking city. Love that ball club. Not that ball club, the ballpark.
I actually haven't been that.
It's a beautiful, beautiful park. Where's the All-Star game next year?
East Coast.
Is it?
I think so. 5 MLB All-Star Game. Atlanta. Truist.
Oh, let's go out there.
Possibly.
Dude.
I do want to see Truist Park. It's a nice stadium. And then following year 2026, it's at Citizens Bank.
Damn, 2 years on the East Coast?
Yep.
And then in 2027, Major League Baseball All-Star Game live.
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Nevada.
Yeah. I don't think is it the 20 I think they pushed it back to 2028 that park's going to be open now.
Bro, that park's never fucking gonna get built, dog. The A's are gonna be in Sacramento for the rest of my life, dude.
Jesus. Oh my God.
I
No, the players would revolt because it's too fucking hot during the summer.
well, no, they'll build them a new stadium. I just have this envision next year, Ben.
Oh, in Sacramento?
Yeah, I have this vision next year that like the A's do really good in Sacramento. Not I'm not saying from a playing perspective, although I do think they're going to be better, but I'm saying like they're a hit for Sacramento.
Mhm.
Sacramento's going to be like, "You know what? We'll
We'll
you
build
guys
you the
a
park."
stadium."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they're going to fucking build a stadium, and then the A's are going to be like, "Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
You're going to build us a stadium, and so we'll go there." And then I think Vegas can get a expansion team.
If they can fucking pay for a stadium.
Oh, there's some owner, dude. Because
They just don't want the A's.
well, this is the thing. What people don't realize about the A's situation is the A's. John Fisher is a dog shit owner. 100% agree with that. However, he's also being influenced by the other owners of the Major League Baseball because all the other owners have to vote for him to move. I'm telling you right now, the MLB owners have seen the success of the Vegas Golden Knights. They've seen the success of the Las Vegas Aces. The NBA has already said that when they have an expansion team in 2030, they're
once LeBron
LeBron's gonna
retires.
He's gonna be the owner.
Yeah.
They're gonna expand to Vegas. Like it's already happening. The Raiders are here, so these other
It's
leagues.
too bad the Raiders suck.
Yeah, but I mean, like the stadium's still here. Like the
And it's beautiful.
NFL,
Yeah.
the NFL they had the Super Bowl here, and it was a fucking smashing success, dude. Like
Yep.
everybody was like, the Super Bowl should be in Vegas every year.
Yep.
Everybody that came, like I'm talking like all the NFL people and shit, they were like, the Super Bowl should be here every year. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing that I think MLB sees that the owners do, because all the owners care about is fucking money, right, Ben? They're like,
Yep.
we need a team in Vegas, dude. What's our easiest route? It was the Rays or the fucking A's. Well, the Rays got a new stadium in Tampa that's being signed, sealed, delivered. Well, the city of Oakland, they know California taxpayers are too intelligent. They're not going to build a new stadium, not in the Bay Area. So what do? They're like, we need to get the A's to fucking Oakland, dude. I mean, we need to get the A's to fucking Vegas. So they're pushing John Fisher a lot as well. And I don't think people understand that. Like, this is a cohesive um, tactical, plan by the Major League Baseball owners to get a team to Vegas.
Mhm.
However, I do think that the A's are struggling a little bit because John Fisher isn't really interested in building a stadium for himself. So at some point, either A, the A's are going to stay in Sacramento and they're going to build a stadium there, or B, MLB is going to force John Fisher out and they're going to get an owner that's going to build a stadium in Vegas and
Mhm.
put a team in there. Because I do, Bezos wants a fucking team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a ton of fucking billionaires that want fucking sports teams, bro.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the A's, but it's just hella funny because on Twitter, all the A's fans are like, "Oh, I'm never gonna be an A's fan ever again." Like, bro, shut the fuck up. I'll see you at a game in Vegas, bro. Like, let me know when
Exactly.
you're
Yep.
here, dude. Stop the bullshit, bro.
I'll
And
still
like,
wear their sell shirts, but they'll still be there in green and gold.
and Ben, they don't even see that it's like an MLB issue either, dude. Like, they're just blaming the team. It's like, bro, the
Yeah.
team didn't do anything to you, bro. Like, yes, hate John Fisher. John Fisher is a fucking idiot, dude. He's a fucking piece of shit. I agree. But it's not all him that wants to move the A's from Oakland, dude.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's from the Bay Area. Why the fuck would he want to move a team out of the Bay Area, dude?
Taxes.
Well, that, but I mean, like, he's
Yeah.
getting
The
influenced.
rich want to get richer, and they will always want to get richer.
He's getting influenced by the other owners, though. He wouldn't be doing this all on his own, bro. Like, if he wouldn't, dude's a fucking clown.
I don't disagree with you on that.
But I want the A's here. But I guarantee by the time they're here, I'm gonna be gone. So
Oh yeah.
then it's like, what the fuck? Why y'all
Well,
even? Why y'all even out here now?
yeah. Well,
Um.
give
All
it a
right.
reason to go out there.
Yeah, that's true. Although I'm telling you right now, if when I leave Vegas, I'll probably never come back here. And that's not true. I'll probably come back
That's not true.
probably come back every once in a while. But
One word, circa.
yeah, Circa is dope. But I don't know, bro. I'd rather like chill in my living room. Like if it's me here by myself, yes. If I'm with like friends and shit,
Yeah.
then yeah,
Oh yeah.
obviously Circa. But I'm an old man now, bro. Like I don't like going anywhere.
Again, when it's people there, yeah.
I very rarely like leaving my house, except when I have to.
Yep.
I'll order everything now. I'll order
There we go.
groceries, fucking like, bro. I ain't trying to deal with all that shit.
We got a couple big series this week.
Yeah, we do. Cleveland, Kansas City.
Yeah, doubleheader tomorrow.
Cleveland was starting to lose that division, but they had a nice series this weekend against the who the fuck did they play? Why is it fucking skipping my mind? The
They played
Rangers. The Rangers.
Texas.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
took 2 of 3 against Texas. And then obviously the Royals and Twins both dropped 2 out of 3 in their series, so um, gave the Guardians a little bit of a cushion there in that
Mm.
division. Bad loss for the Twins today. I mean, just when you're in a division race, man, you cannot have those kind of losses,
Yep.
and that's why I say that the Twins, like, you know, I don't think they're gonna fall out of the playoffs, but I mean, like those kind of losses, Ben, those kind of losses come back to haunt you.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be interesting to see how they come back out of this tomorrow
Yeah, but
and in their series against Atlanta.
they gotta play Atlanta, yeah.
Yep.
Max Fried.
Yep.
And the Braves are playing good ball right now. Francisco Ramon Laureano all of a sudden is fucking having a resurgence, dude.
Yeah. They also played the Giants and then Washington,
Who? The Braves?
the Braves.
No, they played Giants and then the Angels and then
Okay, so yeah, there we go.
They played some other teams though too.
Three teams that cannot put up points. They did play the Phillies in there. They got a 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
But the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series, the Nationals, the Phillies, the Angels, the Giants, and the Rockies. And they lost the series to the Rockies.
Hey, Rockies good
So
ball club.
other than the Phillies being a divisional team, they haven't beaten anybody all that great. They got swept by the Brewers before that. They lost the series to the or they split the series to the Marlins. Like I'm still up in the air on the Braves. I think
Yeah,
they're far enough ahead right now that
they have good pitching though, dude.
yeah, I still think they can lose it to the Mets.
They have a top five bullpen and they have good starting pitching. Like they just manage to pitch well, bro. So if they can
Yeah,
get any offense, and I know not having Austin
Riley.
Riley fucking blows, but like then all of a sudden fucking Ramon Laureano's out here fucking picking up the slack, and how long is that sustainable? I don't know, but you know they do have like Whit Merrifield, like they got good players in their lineup. They're all good players that are having bad years,
Mhm.
basically. But it's like at some point, like what if they play to their potential? You know what I mean? Then it's like you got a fucking different team. Michael Harris left the game today. That's a huge blow too.
Ooh, wow.
So that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Him coming back against the Giants was what I thought really kind of put them
Spark
over the
them.
edge against the Giants.
Yep. Yeah, he's a
So,
huge boost, dude. Because then they
yeah,
actually have a real leadoff hitter.
yeah. See if we have any news on that. I'm doubting we won't see anything till tomorrow.
Yeah, he left the game today. Hurt, but I
Day
want
to day after pitch hits him in the hand.
I want to bet the Twins tomorrow, but Bailey Ober's like due for a stinker, dude.
I will be talking about that later.
He's literally fucking like 12 straight quality starts. He's like set a record. Like he's due for a fucking stinker. Damn, that line's already moved a lot. Twins were minus 106 earlier. Now they're plus $1.
What?
Yeah.
The line has moved since we started this podcast,
What?
if that's the case.
That line?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was minus 106 earlier. Twins. Braves minus 104. Now they're minus 110. I don't know about
Yeah.
minus $1.10. I wouldn't play the Braves at that. I knew I should have taken them at minus $1.04 though. God damn. God damn.
We have a couple more good series tomorrow. We've got
Woo!
bless you.
Thank you.
Sorry, where did that go? We have Houston Philly.
Yep, that's
This
gonna
is
be a
gonna be a
great
fun one to
series.
watch.
That's actually I got a best bet in that game.
Okay. Blanco versus Wheeler. Toronto, Boston. I mean, Boston has to beat up on Toronto, which
Yep.
they can very well do. Um, to get that there. Atlanta, Minnesota, we talked about already.
Boston changed its
Um,
starter though.
what's that?
Boston changed its listed starter.
I see it as Pavetta.
It's Cooper Criswell.
I fucking hate Cooper. Um, but it's because they have a. Oh no, wait. I see Cutter for they have a doubleheader tomorrow. I see Cutter for
On.
game one, and
No, 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 no. They have a suspended game that they're picking up in like the eighth inning.
oh, is that the first game, the
Yeah,
11:05?
yeah. It's like a
Oh
eighth
no, no,
inning
no. It's
pickup.
in the second inning.
Oh, it's a second inning.
Yeah. Bottom of the second, Boston's up.
What's the score? 0-0?
0-0. Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna be able to bet that though.
No, I don't not. I don't see any lines for that one.
But the game later is now it's listed as Cooper Criswell
Yeah, okay. I
versus
see
Barrios.
ESPN is listed as Pavetta, but I believe your lines over ESPN.
Thanks, Ben.
Um,
I just trust Fangraph more than I trust ESPN.
yeah, yeah. Baltimore LA is going to be a big series too.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a massive series on
The
Tuesday.
start was on Tuesday. Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge series.
we need Baltimore to fucking ball out so
Well,
San Diego
I
and
don't
Arizona can
I don't know if I want the
catch up.
Padres winning the division, dude.
Why?
Because last year, two wild card teams made the fucking World Series.
Yeah, but those wild cards team were hot as shit.
The Rangers were fucking ice cold going into the playoffs.
Oh, that's right. They made the big first half of the year and then cooled down.
Yeah, they barely made the playoffs.
That's true.
They were in first place in their division in August and fucking gave the division away. So I don't know if I want the Padres to win the division, but in like,
Still want the Dodgers to lose. And we need Baltimore to win that division.
dude, I don't know if Baltimore's gonna be able to do it. Bro, they don't have any pitching, dude. Like they
I
they,
know.
they literally trotting out fucking dudes that they were not planning on fucking pitching this year.
Yep.
Damn, Alabama high school football player Caden Tellier died Saturday, a day after being critically injured during a game.
Jesus.
An Alabama high school football player died Saturday, a day after he was critically injured. Morgan Academy quarterback Caden Tellier was hurt following a tackle in the third quarter of the school's game Friday night. Tellier, a 16-year-old junior, suffered a brain injury and was flown to University of Alabama hospital Friday night. That's crazy, bro.
I hate to say it, but we're gonna see halos.
Damn.
And so be it. You have to wear the halo on top of the helmet. It
They,
doesn't change anything.
they look stupid, dude.
Who cares?
They gotta fucking design something else.
A fucking high schooler won't die.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, this is the thing, dude, is like, I don't think kids should be playing football regardless, dude. Like, it should be flag football up until college. Because, bro, your, like, body's not developed and shit.
Yeah.
Even in college, it's not fully developed. But it's like, bro, like, these kids been there playing, like, Pop Warner and shit at, like,
Oh
fucking
yeah, like
8.
5 years old.
Yeah, dude, and they're, like, taking fucking hits to the head and shit. Like, I can't believe my mom ever signed me up for Pop Warner, dude. That's probably the worst fucking parenting mistake she ever made. But like I would, dude, if I had a son, I would not let him play football, dude.
Nope.
Like LeBron didn't let his kids play football, and LeBron played football growing up. It's like, bro, I would never fucking let my son play football, dude.
Yeah.
Because that shit is just, bro, your kids' brains are developing and shit, and you're like fucking taking hits to the head and shit.
It's not even brains, it's fucking arms, legs, back, like everything.
It's a violent sport, man.
Yeah.
That's why it's so popular in America, is because it's a violent sport.
Mm-hmm. See how hard we can fucking destroy somebody. Yeah.
I do think with like all the safety coming into play, though, I do think that football could start to take a back seat
Mhm.
a little bit, because that's like what made the sport what it is. And now it's like people are like, we're starting to understand, because like all these players that came before are like all fucked up now.
Yeah, all that fucking what is it, CTE?
Yeah, so like we're becoming more familiar with it, and it's like, there's a side of the debate that's like, well, they want to do it, let them do it. they know the consequences. But then it's like, logical people are like, well, yeah, they want to do it, but don't let them, because
Yeah.
they become a fucking vegetable by the time they're fucking like 55 and shit.
Yep. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm 100% with you. I don't think I mean, I don't think anybody should be taking these headshots, whether they're adults or not. Having multiple concussions and seeing what that does to you, like, and I'm not even taking hits every day. Like, I don't understand why some of these guys come back out there and play after they're, on their second and third concussions, because
Yeah,
it's so easy to get another one.
yeah,
And as you get more, the consequences go up.
yep,
Like I don't know if I can take another concussion. Like that's that's the big thing. I've hit in my head like 4 times now where I've been out and out hard. I mean, you've seen those firsthand with me. Um and
yeah,
whether it was a fucking softball to the face, whether it was a fucking slamming my head on the concrete on a skateboarding accident, it's those have been detrimental, and
yeah,
I can't do that shit anymore. And I've noticed the difference in how I'm even slower at that point. So these guys who are getting hit every single day and taking shots to the head every single day, it doesn't surprise me that they're vegetables and
yeah.
at 40, 50.
Remember that study that
And
came out and they said like one tackle in the NFL is like in comparison to a fucking like car crash.
yeah,
It's like, dude,
but
you're
like a
taking
fucking Mack truck, like
yeah, you're taking like multiple car crashes a fucking game, dude. Like that's
yeah,
crazy, bro.
yep.
That's
So
absolutely nuts.
it doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Halo goes into effect quicker or more sooner than it does than we expect it.
Yeah.
Um, there has to be something developed to, stop these injuries in the helmet. And I'm sure universities are doing that. The research departments at universities are incredible, and I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
there are people out there that are working on that.
Yeah.
So, we may see the Halo for a couple years and then a new helmet come out that drops the risk dramatically, but we can't keep trying out guys getting fucking just trying out children in high school, college, and even Pop Warner um, getting hurt like that, because brain injuries are no joke.
It's true. It is true, man. It is true. Any thoughts on NFL preseason football while we're talking some football?
I don't care. I don't care about preseason football.
Yeah.
The 2 drives, 3 drives of a starting team tells me absolutely zero at this point.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't.
even the starting team is missing guys. So
I always say
I,
like usually teams that do good in preseason end up being bad in the regular season, and teams that are bad in the preseason always end up being good in the regular season.
yeah,
It's just so there's not much, like, teams are running vanilla shit,
yeah,
and yeah, it's not a lot to take away from me.
mm-mm,
I think from a depth perspective, watching it can give you like some depth news, like more roster stuff. So if guys get hurt and shit, and you're like, oh, I seen this dude, he balled out in fucking preseason and shit. Like, because I'll never forget, I saw Victor Cruz in preseason before he became Victor Cruz, and I was like, holy shit, that dude could play.
yep,
And then he became a great wide receiver for a few years, and so I mean those things always happen. But yeah, I don't get too high and I don't get too low on preseason.
mm. I know that my team has 2 big signings that they have to make before the season starts, or the first. I mean, really, however long Trent Williams is out is going to be the biggest
Yeah.
issue with the Niners. But I mean, Ayuk is
Well, they've lost
with
a lot of leverage in any Ayuk trade now too,
yeah,
because any team that brings him on, like, they don't get a training camp with him and shit.
yep,
So it'll be interesting to see what the Niners do there.
yep, especially with Purcell injured too.
The Cardinals are winning that division though, so it's whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're gonna be without what's his name for 5 weeks, so
Who?
you
Zay
just had
Jones?
the
Well, it don't matter, bro. That fool's like a third string. That dude's like our third or fourth wide receiver. I ain't even tripping. We got Marvin Harrison Jr., dog. We got the Maserati Marv, bro. What are we doing here? I ain't tripping off of Zay Jones. Come on, Ben. The fuck?
you just talked about depth, my friend.
Yeah, but we got Maserati Marv, bro. I'm telling you right now, Marvin Harrison Jr., rookie of the year, bro. Offensive rookie of the year. He's winning it.
Oh, I'm gonna go to one of these QBs.
Nah. Dude, Maserati Marv, Ben, this kid is special, bro. Watch this dude at Ohio State. Like, he's built to be. I mean, his pops is a fucking Hall of Fame wide receiver. Like, the kid is bred to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Well, hopefully Kyler's been playing Madden instead of
Kyler's
Modern
gonna
Warfare, so
Kyler's gonna be great this year. Kyler's gonna be great.
you didn't like that joke, huh?
Don't you worry about Kyler. I'm saying even if I wasn't a Cardinals fan, I would bet the Cardinals to win the division this year. I think they're gonna be sneaky good, bro. They were way better than I expected last year, dude. Way better. And now they got talent,
They have some talent.
bro. They got talent, Ben. They got dogs. They got dogs, and they got a great fucking head coach, Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon, shout out to you. I highly criticize your hiring, but you've done nothing but prove me wrong. So you got my full support.
Yeah, we'll see.
And everyone's high on the Rams this year, and I think the Rams are gonna fucking shit the bed, dog.
Hmm.
No Aaron Donald again. No Aaron Donald this year. And what happens if Stafford gets hurt? Stafford's like always hurt.
Yeah, and who do they have?
Yeah,
Stetson
Stetson
Bennett.
Bennett, dude.
Yeah, yeah, that's not gonna be pretty.
And then the fucking Seahawks are going over a whole regime change. So like, I think they're gonna finish last place. The Seahawks are. But I do think the Niners are gonna have a down year, man. It's historical for Super Bowl losers. They're always pretty bad the next year. So
I
we'll
don't think
see.
we'll have too much of a problem.
You will with the Cardinals when the Cardinals are winning that fucking division.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, let's get some best bets, Ben.
Yeah, I just have one tomorrow that we briefly mentioned earlier, and that is Minnesota plus. It's plus 100 now. I did get it at plus 105 at the beginning of the show. But you got O'Barron on the bump for Minnesota, and you're going against Max Fried. The whole team hits the four-seam fastball well, which is Max Fried's not his best pitch, but his most used pitch. His best pitch is the sinker, but you've got Kirilloff, Lewis, Castro, and Vasquez, who are all over 1 run value against the sinker. So I think you'll still have some positive at bats against him there. At plus 100, coming off of today's loss, I think you see a lot of heart out of him. So I'm going to go Minnesota plus 100 for the game. I'll probably hit their first 5 as well.
Damn, I kind of like the Braves in that game, but I don't want to play it at minus 110. I'm going Pirates money line minus $1.11. We got what's his face on the mound? Mitch Keller. He's really good at home, throws a good sinker. And he's gonna be opposing Jameson Taillon. This is more of a fade of Taillon because Taillon hasn't been good in his last few starts, and we've been kind of expecting this regression. So I like the Pirates there tomorrow, and then I like the Washington Nationals plus 1.5 runs tomorrow against Nestor Cortez. Dylan Cruz making his debut, Ben, for the Washington Nationals. I'd sprinkle a little on the money line too. Nestor's been terrible on the road all year, pretty much in his entire career. I like the Nats plus 1.5 tomorrow, and on the money line a little bit. And then
money line plus 165.
Yep. Sprinkle on the money line plus 1.5. And then I love Phillies money line minus $1.50 tomorrow. I want to fade Blanco here. I'm not sure the status of Jordan. He missed the last 2 games. He might play tomorrow. Regardless, I love how the Phillies are playing these last 2 games. I think they're starting to get on a roll again, starting to find their groove. So I love this. Also, another fade of Blanco here because Blanco's been due for some regression, and it's finally coming. So give me the Phillies on the money line minus $1.50. We're laying some juice, but I like that play there.
Yeah,
like that play. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure to download the Sharps app, SHARPZ, straight to your mobile device. Use promo code JORD517. It's free to download, free to use. Sharps app, track your bets, become a better. Follow us on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Taproom_sports. Follow myself at Jordan Rules TSP. We'll be back on Tuesday to break down the Major League Baseball slate on Wednesday. And then we'll be back on, Irv and I will be back on Wednesday as well to preview the college football slate for the weekend. So we appreciate y'all for hanging out. We'll see y'all later. Have a blessed Monday. We out. Peace.
Later.